Take the mask off. Okay, don't. Sit. We've reached 50,000 subscribers and it's time for another Q&A. Q&A 3. But you keep asking all the questions and I really want to answer them for you. So let's get started. Catherine of Aragon, I love your channel so much and I have a question. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream? Catherine of Aragon, I love banana ice cream. We used to serve it all the time at Balmoral for the Queen. But then I fell in love with chocolate mint ice cream, creme de menthe ice cream with chocolate flakes. And that video is coming up. It's a super easy one to make at home and you don't need an ice cream machine. Joseph, Mr. McGrady, oh, call me Darren. I have a question for you. Did the Queen or any members of the royal family like Indian food? Prince William and Harry love Indian food. In fact, in the Royal Chef at Home, there's the chicken tikka masala pizza that I used to make for them at Kensington Palace. Dottie, thank you, Chef. Who cooks when you feel like taking a break? Also, if you were allowed a last meal, what would it be? Love your channel, stay healthy and safe. You too, Dottie. Who cooks when you feel like taking a break? I never like taking a break from cooking. I love cooking. Even when I'm home, I love cooking. Me, I cook. And my favorite last meal, that's a tough one. I do love lobster, so I think any lobster dish would probably be in my last favorite meal. Finn, hey chef, what's your favorite jam? Also teach us how to make jam. Love your videos. Thanks, Finn. Favorite jam? We used to make jam all the time at Balmoral Castle. I remember once the Queen and Princess Margaret would go out picking strawberries and blueberries, raspberries and tiny little frais de bois, little woodland strawberries, and bring them up to the kitchen and we'd make jam that would last all through the year then for the Queen's afternoon teas. So I think frais de bois, the little woodland strawberries, that's probably my favorite jam. Brew Bear, hello Darren, I'm wondering, would you consider re-releasing your cookbook? I'd love to purchase a copy. Brew Bear, I presume you're meaning Eating Royally. The Royal Chef at Home is still out there for anyone to purchase. I put a link in the description. Eating Royally, we're trying to get back into print. It went to 6 prints and I donated all the advance and royalties to Princess Diana's charities. Raised lots of money, great cause, great charities. But we're trying to get it reprinted. As soon as we do, this will be the first place that we bring it out. Joaquin, hey Chef Darren, did you ever taste Filipino food? Thanks for making cooking vids, really helped me. I did. I was in Manila in the Philippines just in January and adobo chicken, I fell in love with it. Maybe I need to make my version of it. We'll make a note of that. Amia, for the next Q&A, what was the Royal Yacht Britannia like? Also, I love your vids. Thanks, Amia. The Royal Yacht Britannia, absolutely loved it. I used to get goosebumps going on there. The Queen called it her floating palace and it was really amazing. Being a chef on board Britannia, sailing into Miami, a huge flotilla of boats all around you, honking horns and jetting water, the Royal Marines band up on the top deck playing a Life on the Ocean Wave, and you in the galley preparing a soufflé au citron foie for President Reagan, President Ford, and General Schwarzkopf, who was being knighted for his part in the Gulf War. It doesn't get much better than that. In fact, you can go on Britannia too, and it's in Leith in Scotland. It's open to the public. On my culinary trips, we host dinner parties, and I get to sit with the guests at the royal table. The Royal Yacht Britannia, absolutely adore it. Jack Chadwick, hey Darren, big fan. Thanks, Jack. Have you ever had Percy pigs? Who or what are Percy pigs? Is that like an illness or a candy or something? I don't know what Percy pigs is. Shell, what was your favorite royal kitchen to cook in? I really enjoyed cooking in all of them. I love being at the palace, right in the center of London. I love being at Windsor, but the kitchens were so big. I love being at Holyrood Palace up in Scotland, love being on Britannia in the Royal Galley cooking. Balmoral was so much fun too, all that produce coming in from the Royal Gardens. And Sandringham, I think that was probably my favourite. Small kitchen, Love being at Sandringham for Christmas, sort of spending time there, cooking for the royal family, those turkeys, and it was a great kitchen to cook in too. Jubilee, do you have your own restaurant? I don't. I have Eating Royally here, my catering kitchen in Dallas, where we do events all over Dallas and all over the country too. I think if I had my own kitchen, I'd just be bored of just doing the same foods every day. And to do catering is great because you're doing a different menu at a different location every single day. Tilo, hey Darren, what do you think about German food? I just love all food, all types of food, and German food. One of the dishes we cooked at Buckingham Palace was a dish called Pfannkuchen, those gorgeous donuts filled with apricot puree. We need to do a video on those because they are the best. A little rum sauce over the top. Oh, so good. Jay Smith, Harry the cameraman looks yummier. Jay, Harry, you've got a fan club. King Eric, Darren, did the Queen eat anything like this or steak tartare? Is it even allowed for her? The Queen wouldn't eat steak tartare because obviously the beef is raw. The Queen liked a beef well done, and so whenever we were doing a roast beef, she'd always have the end slices. Jim, what was the name of your favourite chippy near Edinburgh? Jim, I love the Ansrew the Fish Bar. I still think that's one of the best places in the world for fish and chips. In Edinburgh, Benny's Fish and Chip Shop, halfway down the Royal Mile. When the chefs were at Holyrood Palace, once we'd finished dinner, we'd actually go out drinking in the grass market, and on the way home, stop off at Benny's, get fish and chips, and eat them on the way back to Holyrood Palace. Nicholas, hey Darren, could we please have your take on a proper English Sunday lunch, please? Preferably with some bread sauce. Well, if it's with bread sauce, then we have to do chicken, because that's the garnish for that. So we may have to do the roast chicken and bread sauce. But for me, a proper English Sunday lunch is that standing rib roast, the prime rib, that gorgeous rib of beef with some Yorkshire puddings and real English roast potatoes. We'll have to do that one. Will, why do you Americanize your videos with US terms and words? Will, I live in America. I live in Dallas, Texas. I've been here for over 20 years. You can tell with my Texan accent, right? So every now and again, it sort of switches to American and then to English, but that's why we use the American terms. Captain Roger, can you please cook lobster thermador? I'd love to know how to do it for my wife and I for our anniversary. Princess Diana loved lobster thermador. She loved lobster dishes, and she would never order it when she was out at restaurants as a guest. She thought it was too expensive on the menu, so she only really ate it when she was at Kensington Palace and I was cooking. And the lobster thermador is actually one of her favorites, and it's in my first cookbook, Eating Royally. But we'll make it. We'll do a recipe for you and a video. Aaron, oh my gosh, you look like Rennie from Hello Hello when you were younger. Ha ha ha. Yeah, ha ha ha, Aaron. I've heard that before, actually. A lot of people have said that. What do you think? Mark, Darren, make a kedgeree, an American version if that's possible. American version of kedgeree. I'd like to share with you the kedgeree, the salmon kedgeree, the smoked haddock kedgeree that I used to prepare at Buckingham Palace. And when the royal family travelled, they often have it for breakfast. So we'll do that as a vid too. Good Karma. Hey Darren, I love your channel. I live in the DFW area and would like to hire you sometime. Well, we do events all around the Metroplex. Go to eatingroyally.com. I've put the link in the description. And we can come and cater an event for you. Who knows, I might be there and I can share stories with you and your guests. Luca, was the Queen ever mad with something that you cooked? Luca, absolutely not. Of course not, no. Okay, next question. Jenfold, did the Queen ever play Jenga with the chips in the fish and chip video? When you stack them up like that? Oh my gosh, I laughed out loud when I read that. Can you imagine the Queen playing Jenga with those chips, pulling them out? If I'd known that or even thought about that, I would have stacked them this high. She'd have had so much fun at the table. Finally, last question, Nate. Oh, not question. Nate, referring to the Queen's fish and chips. Too rich, one egg is unearthed. One egg is enough. One egg is enough. Nate, get your coat. Get out of here. That's it for the Q&A. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, click on the link below, subscribe, leave a comment, leave more questions for the next Q&A. I've got a great video coming up for you next week. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but this is one of my favorites. See you again soon.